stories from people using the law of attraction. People often ask me, Justin, does the law of attraction really work? And the answer is yes. This law works all the time for all people, but many of you still aren't convinced. Here is 3 success stories from ordinary people that decided to put the law of attraction to the test. A special thanks to thesecrettolivingthelawofattraction.com for allowing me to use these wonderful stories. My good friend Steve White is doing the narration. Enjoy.
I am still amazed by my own story. This may be a long one, but here it goes. So, it was a Monday, and I felt like crap. Not physically, but mentally and spiritually. So I decided to take a mental health day and not go to work. I tend to feel guilty about not going to work unless I deem the reason worth it. So I was on my laptop looking for ways to get me out of my funk, which has been hovering over me for several weeks. I was looking for a therapist, support groups, books, anything that was going to make me feel better about me. I have a husband and 2 kids, and like many other women, I developed the bad habit of putting me last. For some reason, something sparked in me this day, and I was going to put myself first. After a few hours of research and even a consultation with a therapist, I was already beginning to feel better. Then I stumbled onto a book on Amazon that I read many years ago, The Secret. I had already read the book, so I didn't want to purchase it again. But because I have a Prime membership, the movie version was free for me to watch. I figured, hey, I'm home from work. I can lay here and watch this. I watched the entire video and was inspired and motivated once again for change. I figured if all I have to do is think about the good things I want, desire, and need, just trying it couldn't hurt any. If it doesn't work, no harm, no foul. If it does work, glory. At the very least, I figured the law of attraction will help me to focus more on positive thoughts than negative ones. That very day, I made a list telling the universe all the things I wanted, also telling the universe that I believed these things are already mine. I realized right away that the power of LOA is in the belief. One of the things I asked for was to receive unexpected money within 30 days. I had a dollar amount of $20,000 attached to that request. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, right. But because I was making a conscious decision to try this LOA thing out, I told myself, it will happen. And the day moved on. I felt better than I did that morning when I didn't go to work, so I was already grateful. My husband came home from work and I told him what I did all day, including tapping back into the law of attraction. He was happy to see my spirits lifted. Then we went to go pick up the kids together. While we're in the car, he gets a call from this guy who lives in the house my mother used to own. This guy and my husband are childhood friends, and the fact that he and his family now live in the house I grew up in is pure coincidence. Or not. The guy says to my husband, "You might want to come by. There seems to be a check here for you." Me and my husband were both dumbfounded. A check? No one owes us money. Sure enough, a check was there in the amount of $2,992.20. I could have passed out right then and there. Seriously, I just made my list. I had just started on my law of attraction experiment, and I got slapped in the face with a check immediately. I pulled my phone out and showed my husband the list I made, and he almost passed out too. It was such a great, rewarding feeling. I know it's not the $20K I asked for, but I was still overjoyed and grateful, and it is a day that has changed my life and my thinking forever. Ask, and you shall receive. Well, it worked. I have one little thing that happened to me recently after making a manifestation box. I am fairly new to law of attraction, and I'm excited to see what happens in my life from now on. I made a lovely box, putting in my dreams and desires, photos and pictures of things I want in my life. There is a dress shop which I absolutely love, but never buy from it, as it is far too expensive for me and usually the dresses never fit. But I put in my manifestation box that I could now buy from this shop. I put the box away, and maybe a week later, my daughter asked me to go shopping with her for clothes, as she had just been offered a new job. So we went into town, and she went from shop to shop, including the one I love. I browsed around quickly, then saw not one, but 2 dresses on special, and lo and behold, they fit me as well. So that day I bought not one, but 2 dresses from my favorite shop. It didn't click until later on that week that I had actually put the desire into my manifestation box. I am very happy this actually worked, and the fact that I am now dressed beautifully as well. Defeated my home. Okay, so I moved to California in hopes of this big discovery, that someone big in the entertainment industry would walk in a grocery store and see all of this talent and just be amazed, and that life just takes off from there. Wrong. In this same time, I had so much fear inside that I sabotaged everything that I would have manifested. So I worked on the fear inside and faced my demons. So after I finally got a hold on all of this, I realized that me and my children were still in the homeless shelter in downtown Los Angeles, and that I wanted to move into a home of my liking. I had so much on my mind that I couldn't pinpoint exactly what I wanted, and ended up staying in the shelter for 7 months, and I was uncomfortable and slightly miserable. Until one day, I was searching for ways to manifest things and came across this person suggesting that I write down what I wanted. That way, I'll be able to focus and visualize more. So I tried it, and it worked. Fast forward. At the time, I really wanted to get out of the shelter, so I wrote it down. My twin sister moved in a huge 5-bedroom house and offered me and my 3 children to move in temporarily. Yay, I said. I was very excited. I shared my gratitude with everyone who'd listen. Leaving the shelter finally was amazing until I realized my sister and I didn't get along when we lived together. It was bad. So, once again, I was filled with anger and fear and needed this to change badly. I educated myself more about the law of attraction, and had completely forgotten how I was able to manifest moving out of the shelter by writing things down. And so I began. With more details, I would sit on the couch and write down what I wanted my house to look like, inside and out. And every day I would add more and more, until last but not least, I wrote a date. September 18, 2014 was the day I would move in my home. That's what I wrote down. I would continue on with my day and periodically daydream about walking around this house and cooking and cleaning because I already viewed it and knew how it looked. Then suddenly, I'm walking around my sister's house, smiling from ear to ear, and the phone rings. This lady asks for me, and I didn't think it was my rental company calling. The call was received on September 15th, 2014. She asked me a few questions and then said, "Would you be able to move in on the 18th? My heart dropped. I became so scared of the fact of how detailed I was about moving and that it actually came true. And to add to this story, I was completely broke, no money, no job, and I still moved in. I started getting money to support my manifestation, and it has been awesome ever since."